So in this day and age, everyone's very obsessed with the glutes. Physios are obsessed with the glutes. Women are obsessed with the glutes. The Kardashians, they're obsessed with the glutes. So what's interesting is this has been something which I've seen in the gym. You know, I've been in the gym that I work at, and I've seen people training the glutes to infinity and beyond. It's almost ridiculous, to the point where I'll walk in the gym, see them training the glutes. Go in, treat some patients, come out, they're still training the glutes. I'll come out after another patient, they're still training the glutes. Then I'll have a workout, and then I'll finish my workout and they're still training the glutes. There's too much volume there, of course, but people are obviously very interested in glutes. So what was interesting is that there's been a lot of talk around this, and even I have touted the fact that the hip thrust for glute maximus, which is obviously for what a lot of people are trying to target, not necessarily so much physios, the hip thrust has been one that's been held in high regard. And a lot of people would say hip thrusts are best for glute max development, EMG data is better for that, and therefore it means that's going to work better. The downside of the hip thrust is the range of motion, and we also know that development of muscle size and to some extent muscle strength can be determined by the overall range. And the hip thrust doesn't go through an awful lot of range. It may get greatest EMG of the glute max, but that doesn't necessarily constitute better development of the glute max. So there was a study done here where they did a comparison to look at actual development of the glutes, and they looked at squats versus hip thrusts. And this was fascinating because this kind of goes against that EMG data. It shows that actually the EMG data, as I said before, is only part of the story. So they found that the squat actually led to double the amount of glute growth, right, compared to a hip thrust. And even better, you got more bang for your buck. So your quads had 6 times the growth than from a squat than you would on the hip thrust. Now that's no surprise, because the hip thrust is not really working the quads very much at all. I mean, you're going to get some co-contraction, but it's working your glute max and your hamstring predominantly. So you're not getting a lot of quads. So there's no surprise there. But if you were shying away from squats, saying it's not that good for glutes and hip thrust is better, it doesn't mean hip thrust is bad, don't get me wrong, but it shows the squat is very, very good. So I think this highlights including squats. If you're looking to develop glutes and quads, this is a great exercise option. Again, it doesn't mean you have to, and it doesn't mean the hip thrust is redundant. It just shows that it's not just about the EMG, how much recruitment a muscle has, it's about the range of motion as well, what that muscle's put through. And obviously on a squat, the glutes is going through a greater range of movement. So that's most likely why this occurs. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.